Have you ever found a secret code hiding in plain sight? Well, that's kind of what we're going to uncover today. And we're going to start with a word you probably hear all the time. Prose. Seems simple enough, right? But if you look closely, there's a tiny clue that unravels a whole fascinating story about the very structure of our language.
So what even is prose? Well, at its most basic, it's the opposite of poetry. You know how poetry is all about rhythm and rhyme? Prose is, well, it's everything else. It's the ordinary, straightforward language we use every single day when we talk and when we write. And this definition just makes it crystal clear. It's the language you find in emails, in news articles, in the stories you tell your friends. In fact, the words I'm speaking to you right now, this is prose. It's like the invisible foundation of almost all of our communication. Here's a perfect example of how we use it. We talk about the prose of a book, meaning the actual written text itself, separate from the pictures or the fancy cover design. It's a completely normal, everyday word. But this is where our story takes a really interesting turn. Because if you happen to be looking up this very simple word, you might just stumble upon a very curious clue, something that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, hinting at a much, much bigger story. So imagine you're looking at a dictionary entry for prose, something like this one from Wiktionary. You'd probably notice something a little odd. Way down in the categories, right next to the standard stuff like nouns, there's this weird little tag, BE850. It almost looks like a secret code. B850. I mean, what on earth could that mean? Is it some kind of catalog number? A secret society for linguists? What is this strange code doing attached to our simple word, prose? Well, it turns out it's not a code at all. It's a list. And unlocking what that list means, that reveals this incredible project designed to simplify the entire English language. The number is 850, and that is the total number of words in a system called Basic English. Not 850,000, just 850. So here's the big reveal. The B stands for Basic English. It's a controlled version of the language built from only 850 of the most essential words. The entire goal was to create a kind of English that anyone, anywhere in the world, could learn quickly for things like business, travel, or science. Think of it like this. The entire English language, with its hundreds of thousands of words, gets funneled down to just 850 essentials. And these aren't random words. They're the absolute fundamentals. They cover actions, objects, and big ideas. And that's why prose is on the list. The concept of ordinary language was considered one of the 850 most vital ideas for communication. So this all begs the question, right? Why would anyone want to limit themselves to so few words? What's the advantage of stripping a language down to its bare bones? The thinking behind it is actually pretty powerful. For one, you get clearer communication. With fewer words, there's just less room for confusion, which is so important for international relations or business. Two, it's way faster to learn for beginners. And three, it creates focused expression. It forces you to get to the absolute heart of what you really mean. Okay, so with this new understanding, let's go all the way back to where we started, because now we can see our simple word prose in a completely new light. Seeing this slide again, it's pretty clear we're looking at more than just a definition. We're seeing a concept so fundamental to how humans communicate that it was chosen to be one of the 850 essential building blocks of this entire simplified language. So at the end of the day, prose isn't just another word in the dictionary. Its inclusion in that BE 550 list elevates it. It becomes a core pillar of how we share ideas. It's a quiet little reminder that behind the simplest words, you can find the most profound systems. And that leaves us with one final thought. The English language has over 1 million words, but this system suggests you only need 850 to say almost anything that truly matters. It makes you wonder, if you were limited to just those core words, what would you consider important enough to say?